Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaq and this is Word on the Web. Today we're doing a little something different today. I'm doing different segments on the channel, and this segment is going to be called The Underground, in which I interview local artists who are underground. Like, I don't know, self-explanatory.
Right.
But anyway, today my first guest, I have one of my good friends, Deontay, who goes by Day One. Where'd you come up with that name?
Day One. So I actually had a friend who gave me that name.
Oh, really?
She actually did give me that name because she felt like we was always Day Ones. Anyways, my name is Deontay, so Day One isn't really that much of a stretch if you move it around. You know what I mean? So Day One is actually in my name. So that's where I came from the concept.
See, I was always curious, like, where did you come up with Day One?
Like, I went through a couple names. I wanted to go by Day Rise. I wanted to go by...
I like that.
I wanted to go by Young Gunna at one point.
Young
you know
Gunna.
I mean?
Oh, shit.
You know, we all have our beginnings. I mean, 2 Chainz was once Titty Boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I'll forget about that. He was.
Stuff got moved around, and the way that it's spelled is actually DE''ONE. The way that it's spelled is because a lot of people, I guess, tried for the name. So there's a lot of different ways that Day One is spelled out for other artists and stuff like that. So it was definitely a process of figuring out where that was going to go. But yeah, Day One actually means of one or from one. I decided to use DE to spell it because that is Hispanic, That's a Spanish way of spelling or saying day. That's how it's pronounced. But it actually means of one or from one, right? So what I'm looking for is to really light some torches, light some torches, light some people's minds, and see them really push forward.
Educate.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Opening the mind.
Opening the mind.
Get the name VC from?
VC. I was watching YouTube videos, and I came across a lady who was speaking. It was only probably about a 14-minute video, and she was speaking about going to court and how she went to court the right way, stood on her square, and she was able to sign a piece of paper the right way. She didn't say what it was, but signed the piece of paper the right way to where she would be able to walk out of there with no fees and nothing like that. And that.
So where was she walking into?
She walked into court. When I said walking in and standing on your square, she walked into court. So there's a lot that goes with it. You have to. Yeah, I know. You have to. First off, you have to send the court a letter stating what day you're going to show up, right? And it might be on the court date that they set, right? But you send them a letter stating that you're coming into court under special visitation, right?
Special visitation.
Special visitation. Okay. So then you
not the special visitation.
Yeah. So then you go into court and you have to have the right documents. You have to have the right things in front of you.
So what are you declaring?
What you're doing is showing jurisdiction of yourself. What you're declaring is that you are the sole
So you're
authority.
taking the power back.
That's exactly what you're doing, because what they have set up as a court system is actually known as a colored court system, right? It's based on it's based on minorities, and what you think is a minority isn't what it really is. I mean, yes, by definition, that's what it is, but in law, minority actually means something completely different. Minority has to do not with your complexion, but rather your understanding of the law itself, right? Okay. So that's why they appoint you an attorney.
Come through with the message real quick.
Yeah. That's why they appoint you an attorney and so on and so forth. It's because you're automatically set under a situation that claims you to be, unintelligent in the way that things are. So, you need help, and that help is working for the court. It's not working for you. You know what I mean?
So what is the actual definition of VC?
VC is, you can look it up on Google, V.C. in law, right? And it states that it is a word. So VC is an abbreviation. The word is vicuptus, or at least that's how I pronounce it, you know. And
say the word again.
Vicuptus.
Okay.
Vicuptus. Yeah.
So VC means vicuptus.
It's a Latin term in law. You sign your name, and right before you sign your name, you would state VC on any contract or court paper or whatever they use against you that doesn't benefit you. It literally means you're stating out loud that this contract, whatever you are signing, does not benefit you in any way, but they're forcing you to sign it. Like, you don't have a choice. You have to sign this because they're making you. So you state VC, and that tells whoever reads the contract that you don't feel obligated to it.
So is that where you got inspired to make this project?
Yeah. So
and becoming a whole, you know, an artist.
An artist, yeah. So for sure, I mean, I've always been the rebel type. I'm not much for authority. I never have been. I go from job to job because somebody, you know, higher up than me might, you know, upset me that day, you know, that week, whatever.
Yeah.
But definitely.
We all got our flaws.
Yeah. So when I started listening to this woman, she was talking about being a Moor, right? Which I can remember from movies like The Black Knight with Martin Lawrence, right? They were constantly calling him a Moor. Everywhere he went, they would label him Moor, right? So, you know, stuff like that clicked in my head, you know what I mean? So I'm listening to her, and she sounds educated. She's not talking about black versus white or anything like that, you know what I mean? Which is a big deal for me, being that I am mixed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't black versus white. I didn't have to, you know, fight half of myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was really just trying to educate you. And she pressed on about the zodiac symbols and stuff like that. Like, they're very deep into the cultural aspect of where we really come from and shit like that, you know what I mean?
And that's what inspired you to make VC?
That's what inspired me to make VC, because I started watching their videos, and some of the videos that I was watching was like 3 hours long, and I'm watching them in the middle of the night, just smoking, chilling, and, you know,
getting educated,
you know, because that's the only time I had. Busy the rest of the time, you gotta work and shit like that.
So how would you describe the music that you typically listen to, like, on a day-to-day basis? And is that what the sound you was going for, or was you going for your own sound?
Right. So the music that I typically listen to, if you get in my car at any time and I'm playing my music, it's very chill. My cousin once described to me that if she ever got into my car mad, by the time she got out, she would be peaceful, you know what I mean?
Very zen.
Yeah. So I'm very calm. I do have, you know, some ups, I do have some downs, but mostly what I look for is lyrical value. And what's great with lyrical value is that a lot of that stuff comes with an easy tempo, you know what I mean? Because it's more about what you're saying.
I say it's all wavy. You know?
Yeah.
It's a mood.
The music that I typically listen to, if I were to name a few artists, it would definitely be Isaiah Rashad, Roddy Ricch. I fuck with Roddy Ricch. Damn, man. I still listen to Nas. J. Cole, Drake.
Giving.
Kendrick is my guy. To Pimp a Butterfly, which was supposed to be named To Pimp a Caterpillar because it was after Tupac. Bro, I swear to God.
You know all the facts.
Yeah.
Look.
Yes.
So is that all those people, you know, Kendrick, Nas, Drake, is any of those people you would like to collaborate with, or Who would you want to collaborate with?
Right. Definitely, if it was a celebrity, Lupe or Kendrick. I also like Sir.
Okay.
Sir is he's R&B.
Definitely all vibes.
He's So if I could do something with Sir, just to learn from some of those people, you know what I mean?
That would be the whole reasoning.
J. Cole, obviously.
The process.
Earth Gang is dope.
Okay.
Bro, Boss.
Okay.
Boss is something. So I mess with.
You have a variety.
Yeah, I like all sides.
A variety, which is always good.
Yeah. And if it's anything that is to be situated, I do have a couple people that I'm gonna be collaborating with. I had one collaboration in this project, only one collaboration in this project, and that was my friend, Darius.
And what song was that?
That was No Other Option.
No Other Options.
No Other Option. Yeah, No Other Option was the only one I did a collab with, and that song was really a great song. It was a great song from the beginning. We both came up with the chorus. He actually had most of the chorus, but we figured out how to close it. So
So when you typically make a song, like the process of making a song, are you the type of person that will write your beat and then you find the beat to match your writing,
right.
or do you find the beat
to match the beat?
Exactly.
Yeah. So how it was for this project, I definitely didn't have any idea of how to create a beat.
Cause you're still new.
I'm still new, yeah. But I didn't know.
You haven't made music before this project, right?
Right, I have not.
So this was your first introduction?
Right, I've freestyled, everybody freestyles, some of that stuff ends up on Facebook, when you're drunk or whatever, and you think you did it or whatever. So
we all have videos we have to delete.
So I have a couple of those that are still out. Hey man, when it came to these beats, I already had in mind the concept, like where I wanted to concept the idea around, right? So I had that in mind, but when it came to the beats, it's really the beats that inspire the words.
So the beat draws you.
The beat draws me in. Like I can feel however I want to feel.
Yeah.
But I need the beat to, be congruent with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What did you find was the hardest thing to do in the studio? Like was the songwriting, or finding beats, the construction of song format, what was the most difficult part?
So, sometimes the inspiration gets slow. Okay,
I can see.
Be 100% honest. Sometimes the inspiration gets slow. It happens. Everybody has a block from here or there, and the whole point to it is to fight through it. Right. You have to fight through those slow times, even if you're mad. Bro, even if you're mad at the fact that you don't feel like nothing's coming out, bro, like take a minute, take a breath, but you gotta go back in there. So, a lot of the songs that I wrote, my biggest concern with was not talking about the stuff that you're used to hearing. Like, I'm not talking about.
Because that's one of the things that I said to you. Like, so I listen to more like upbeat. I do listen to lyrical content and everything, but his music it's definitely a vibe though. Don't catch me wrong, it's definitely a vibe. He definitely has songs I believe I can hear on the radio, but you have to listen to his music, and it's so easy too because the beats are really nice and fresh. But you really have to listen to what he's saying because he's not one of these artists out here that is just rapping to just rap about anything. He has a message and a concept. So I can see that.
Yeah. So that's how that kind of turned out. But I really forgot the question. I really forgot.
With the
Yeah, I
question
know
on
you
the
did.
fly.
And it was a
What's
good
the
question.
most difficult part of the creative process?
Right. Probably the most difficult part about the creative process that I found for me definitely is that time to write and really push yourself, because I was up at
The
3
motivation.
a.m. Yeah, I was up
To
at 3
keep
a.m.
grinding.
just trying to write, and that's
Yeah.
I explained that in one of my songs. Actually, you know, it's somewhere I explained that in the chorus that, you know, I'm up in the middle of the night and this is the best time for me, you know, and if you see me with my shoes tied, I'm on to better things. I'm trying to move up.
You feel me? Trying to move up.
So
was it hard for you to write music? You know, you said you was up at 3 a.m. writing music. I know you usually just freestyle. You're not a writer. Like, well,
I wasn't a writer.
You wasn't a writer. You know, so how did you break through that?
So definitely growing up, I was a writer. Honestly, I did like to write my own types of stories, fantasy or whatever. I read a lot of books, whether they were fantasy or real historical stuff like that. So definitely, I was always into writing, but I had never tried to apply that to music, right?
To like writing a song.
Right, and it'd been a while since I'd written anyways. Like I was out of high school, like, you know what I mean? You kind of fall off on a lot of stuff unless you like really want it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
what helped you push through?
So
like, did you research how to write a song, to format songs? So I
just winged it. I just tried. And the real thing about it is, I've always been good when it comes to grammar and stuff like that. I've always liked to use big words, and at the same time, I'll hum to myself all day long. You know, I'll freestyle to myself all day long. So it's really just remembering the melodies and really trying to configure the words to fit the melody.
Right.
Because you want it to rhyme, but at the same time, you want it to feel complete. You want it to feel like how you view it. You know what I mean?
Do you see in response to something that significant that happened in your life?
It comes with the knowledge that I was speaking about earlier, with
the walking into court.
Yeah, with the woman who's speaking upon that stuff, to also following up and watching those other 3-hour videos, which.
And what were the names of the videos?
So, the way that I look it up, there's a whole group called the House of Reawakening Minds. They come out of Delaware. And it is an older group.
And you can find them on Facebook?
You can find them on YouTube. I don't know if you can find them on Facebook.
So YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, YouTube's really where it's at.
Hey, I hope they're trying to spot. I just plugged their show.
Yeah.
So, shit.
Yeah. But they still do, you know, classes today. I don't know if necessarily they do classes because the whole COVID thing. Yeah. But I know that they
do classes of the awakening of the mind.
Right. They still do content and stuff like that. So they talk a lot about energy and being able to read yourself. To be able to see if you're ill or not, whether you got like you're deficient in certain vitamins and stuff like that. Stuff like that. A lot of natural stuff. They also explain to you history through law, right? Because law is how they implement their tools. So
and who's there?
Those in charge.
Okay.
Those in charge. We'll say those in charge.
He doesn't. It's a fine line.
I'm about to jump on a bunch of conspiracy theories. It's nothing like that. This is all about what
you have to clarify what you talk about.
What really happened, you know, like in real life. You use law to implement how you want, you know, the future to be. You know what I mean? Like, that's real stuff. You don't want your kids to get beat up, so you make laws preventing, you know, that make it wrong for people to beat your kids up. Analogy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
And oftentimes the law is used against us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because eventually it comes to a point where, okay, now you put this law on top of this law on top of this law on top of this law against the same thing, and then you realize, dang, you really can't do shit anymore. I was at a very critical point in my life.
In your personal life?
In my personal life. To be turning 26, and...
That's a scary year.
Yeah, man. you know. And I had a kid when I was 20, so it's really just watching her grow and really, you know.
Yeah.
Am I done growing? You know what I mean? Like, no.
What
like,
else does?
yeah.
What else is out there?
What else is out
That's
there?
what
So
the question is.
when I started learning of this stuff and really educating myself on what it all meant, they talk about etymology and stuff like that, which is the study of the origin of words, right? Because that's what law is based in. It's based on what the word originally meant, point blank, period. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was at a very critical point in my life. I was in between jobs like I always was, but I was about to turn 26. Like, I didn't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I was tired of being in a hole. So I decided I was going to really plant myself the best way.
Invest in yourself.
Yeah, the best way I knew how.
Yeah. It's never too late, you know. And especially you find new passions every day.
Yeah, every day.
I'm making YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? So
I want to learn how to blow glass.
you've been saying that.
Yeah, that's another thing.
If you guys know any place to go blow glass,
let me know.
yes.
Let me know.
Okay. So, how do you feel like the internet has impacted the music business? And what is one thing that you would change about the industry? If you just came in and you know.
Right. So definitely when it comes to the internet, 100% is beneficial. Like at the end of the day, it's where we as entrepreneurs really promote ourselves and put ourselves out there in people's day-to-day lives, you know.
Promotion.
Yeah.
That is the huge thing that social media is, the promotion, the exposure.
Yeah, all of it.
You would never have exposure like back then to people from all over the country.
You gotta go down the street with your tapes in your trunk.
Right.
And you bump your shit and, hey, hope a motherfucker go by that really feeling the beat.
And the streaming platforms is like, you know.
That's everything. That's
really
everything
is.
For us. Because we
Especially
don't need
underground artists.
Yeah, we don't need a corporation. We don't need anybody to put us out. Like,
would you ever sign though?
Me personally?
Yeah.
That's not in my cards.
Yeah.
That's not the way that I want to take it. Definitely, I feel like my message by itself wouldn't be accepted. First and foremost, just because it's not the popular wave. It's not what mainstream is. There are some radio hits that I do, but it's definitely not mainstream
sound.
It's not normal. It's not normal. I'm not talking about guns, drugs. I'm not talking
bitches.
I'm not calling women out of their name or anything like that. I'm not I'm really just trying to give you a positive message and really trying to get you to pique your own curiosity. Like, think about the things that were told to you and like put them to the test. You know what I mean?
In a different spin.
Yeah, bro.
So one thing you've changed about internet has helped you, and then you answered that. And then if there's one thing you could change about the music business, what would you change?
Definitely, since I'm not gonna be, okay, and this is why they wouldn't up front until I put out something that they would like, because contracts, like, I'm not even an artist that's ever had a contract, but the way that contracts are set up for them, like, they're lucky. I don't know, but I hear that they're lucky if they get 21% of their own earnings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they still get taxed on that. You
don't own your own content.
You don't own it. It's like, not all of it. You can you might have it in your contract where, you know, maybe the words are yours, or shit, they could be somebody else's. You never know. It just depends on what direction they want to see you in, and, you know.
Just the thought to, you know, making an album it is very hard to make an album. You put a lot of time into it. So to put in a lot of time and then for somebody to just take it from you, you don't even own it.
Yeah. And mostly how those people,
it's not good.
How those people really eat, how rappers really eat, is based on their arenas, their concerts, their
Right.
shows. Like that's how they really
Right.
eat. You know what I mean?
Because they're not making money from.
Nah, the physical copies and the
Yeah,
sales and stuff.
shit.
They get the recognition. They get the
Yeah.
recognition.
And
they might
fame
get,
equals dollars.
Yeah.
So
people
you know,
don't really buy physical copies anyways. That's why
Exactly.
streaming is so important nowadays.
So that's the only reason why I think that signing it is the plus. Is because and it doesn't work for every artist. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So it's
doesn't.
just a gamble. I feel like I'd rather take the gamble on investing in myself, earning 100% of the proceeds and my art
Yeah.
than.
So at the same time with that, since we're talking about that, since I didn't create my own beats with this project, with my first project, there were contracts involved with all of them. I had to lease all the beats, you know. I had to.
And where did you find the?
So that's all
Where did you
on.
find the beats at?
That's all on YouTube. So when you're going on YouTube, and I found all the beats on YouTube. A lot of first time. That's where you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go find the free beats and stuff like that. Well, I wanted to try to be legitimate with it. They all say, you know, free, you know, for profit and stuff like that, but they're not free for profit.
You have to pay.
You have to pay for that.
Yeah.
So.
But that means somebody else could have your beat.
Right. Unless you buy the exclusive, and I wasn't rich. I didn't have I have a lot of money. You know, I just had $1 and a dream.
$1 and a dream.
So I put my dollar to the test, and
But you got it done.
yeah, I got it done.
So shoot.
Got it done.
That's just the power of the will.
Yes. So, what was the question?
What would you change about the music industry?
So, contracts, right? And percentages. If I could change anything about the contracts, it would definitely. If I could change anything about the music industry, it would be the contracts favoring artists. You know what I mean? The contracts would be more beneficial to
Artists.
the artists. Because at the end of the day.
But then I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I feel like the companies look like they're taking the risk. I don't believe that. You know, $1 billion company, you're taking a risk. What is $2 million when you have 40 billion? You know, they're taking the risk, but I don't think it's. I don't think the risk. I don't think the pros outweigh the cons. I should say.
So when it comes to the industry stuff, what most rappers who go into that situation, I feel, are looking for, is definitely the spot. They're looking for the spot, and when they get the spot, they may keep it, or they may lose it. But the whole thing is they promote you as long as you're up. Right. The moment that they got something else ready that they think will, you know, make
Just
the next cut, then, you know, and it'll be that situation over and over again. You might have money.
So that's
for
why
a
you
little
wouldn't
bit.
sign?
I wouldn't sign. I couldn't sign because it would be against me. It would be against me, for sure. I could do some contracts with
like against you morally, you feel like? Against your...
It'd be against the code that I'm working on. Yeah, it'd definitely be against the whole idea. The whole idea. It would be completely against the whole idea for me to sign. I'm literally signing VC to state that I am different and I'm gonna come at you the way that I can. And I'm not obligated to the bullshit you used to.
Not at all.
I'm not obligated to it.
Alright, so one last thing. Do you have any upcoming shows? Any next projects coming out?
So I do have a show coming up on August 30th.
August 30th.
Okay, it will be at the Roxy Club. It's $10 a ticket. If you get a ticket and you're coming to see me, definitely hit me up.
Most definitely.
And let me know so that I can use that because I'm trying
Information
to
for the tickets to the concert will be in the link below, along with all his social media.
Yeah.
And message.
And then the next
Roxy. Yeah. August 30th in
30th.
Shawnee Mission, Kansas at 7 o'clock.
At 7 o'clock.
And the August 30th is a Sunday, so.
You got it. You can make it. It ain't work. It's not against your religion.
It's alright.
It's alright.
You be alright.
Yeah.
We drink on Sundays.
We drink on Sundays. And then the next project that I have coming out, I'm still working on it currently, is going to be called Saint City, right?
Saint City.
Yeah.
And do you have a release date or you still working?
I'm thinking it's going to come out more towards October. I think October is going to be the time for it. This first set has 8 songs, if I include the intro. And the second set, the Saint City, is going to be 12 songs.
Okay. So you stepping it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to step it up, trying to give you more. VC is about me entering my own journey and really staying grounded at who I am. You know what I mean? Really showcasing how the history has been scripted and how we also have to remember that none of this shit is real and we really need to get out the fucking matrix. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
Definitely all the paper trail bullshit, the bureaucracy, all that stuff has to stop. We need to unite and really be a people. Remember that there was once a Black Wall Street. Remember that we got greatness within us all. And I see you doing your
Remember that we are beautiful in all shapes all shades.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that was good.
That was nice.
All right, guys, well, thank you so much. That was the first episode of The Underground with Day One.
Hey.
If you do want to keep up with me, please follow me on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at wordonthewebb. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, sharing is always caring. I will catch you guys on the next video.